Good evening. I know I'm half an hour early, but I'm all worn out from shoveling snow yesterday, and figured if I started a half an hour early, it'll get me into bed a half an hour earlier. Craig Stephen, how you doing? Tonight, upon a starry night, how you doing? Pirate Farag, Element of Darkness, Michelle E222, how you doing? Old Spirit, George R, Real McCoy, Piper, Cedric, Derek Nickel, Aussie Piper, Tim, how are you? PJ McNichol, Smoking the Church Warden, because I deserve it after this nor'easter we had. And in it, I'm smoking Cornell and Deal's Burley Ribbon, which is several kinds of burley in a ribbon form. Looks like that. And if you don't smoke burley most of the time, or if you don't like burley, you're not going to like that. This is, think of Haunted Bookshop without Perique and without Virginia. It's a really easy smoke, easy on your mouth. I got 8 ounces of it for blending, pretty much. And I decided before I did any blending, I wanted to try it just to see what it tasted like by itself. I could smoke this all day long. Really nice. Does give you the nutty, earthy burley, but not much in the way of sweetness, and there's no complexity to it. It's kind of bland, but you know, in my old age, I'm starting to like bland. So the other night when I was at work and I live streamed, I pretty much, I think, make it to 8 minutes. Yes, Woods Piper, it is Friday. I know it. I don't know about anybody else, but this week has been murder. The storm was just the icing on the cake. Wanted to take a minute before I forget. Andrew, gently tamped. I finally got around to filling out his flavor wheel survey, and he asked if I would mention that this evening, because he needs 100 and some odd people in order to make it statistically significant. So I will put a link to either the flavor wheel or to the video he did about it down below. I know Max Phil did a video on it recently too. So if I can't find anything else, I'll refer you back to his video. Oh, this is terrific. You burley lovers have got to get this. And then if you get tired of smoking this by itself, all you got to do is chuck in a little bit of something else with some flavor to it and you're all set. You can make a different flavor for different days of the week. I was going to ask whether I got a story about the Friday Savinelli. I'll get back to you. Oh, I just missed that long-winded comment. Okay, so the Friday Savinelli, I got to tell you this story. Got up this morning, got my coffee, grabbed the Friday Savinelli, filled it with Haunted Bookshot, lit her up. After about 15 minutes, I was noticing something wasn't right. I just wasn't getting that Friday boost that I usually get. To be honest, the pipe was sort of tasting like crap. Well, it started smoking real wet, which it never does. And I was thinking about it, and I knew it wasn't the tobacco because I've been smoking out of the same bag for all week, and I know it wasn't wet. So I think I smoked 2 more bowls, and I finally said, I gotta find out what's going on with this thing. So I gotta show you this. This little tool I made out of a nail. All I did was file this end of it and flatten it out, and it'll fit right down an airway of just about any pipe. I stuck that down the airway of the pipe, and what came out of it was unmentionable. It was nasty. Probably could have filled a pothole with it. So the more I thought about it, the more I realized I hadn't cleaned out that airway probably in a couple of months, and it was loaded. So I got so much gunk out of that pipe that I finally just put it back on the rack and I said, see you next Friday, buddy. So remember that. If your pipe's not doing it for you, take it apart and clean it. Find dental tools. Yeah, a woman at work, her husband was a retired, or he had been a dentist and he was retired, and she was a widow, and she kept all his tools, and one day she gave them to me. So I got all kinds of picks and stuff. Dental tools are great. Do all kinds of stuff with them. Clean pipes are important, yes, and especially Peterson's with the reservoirs. Backcountry Pipe and I were going back and forth a couple of years ago. We were both talking about how our pipes weren't tasting as good as they did when we bought them. And finally realized that you gotta really take a Q-tip that's saturated in alcohol or something and get it down into that reservoir and clean that stuff out. When you pull that thing out, it's worse than somebody's septic tank. Oh, it stinks. That does the trick, though. How often are you supposed to give them a deep cleaning? I used to always do mine once a month, and that worked out really well for me, and then I got lazy after that. I guess I'm a real old codger now, because I just kind of like smoke them until I end up with a situation like I had this morning. But oh, I know what I was going to mention. Yes, Smoke and Briar, Mike, has started doing newbie type videos about buying pipes, and I'm sure he's going to do some more stuff. But anybody watching who might be a new pipe smoker, check out Smoking Briar. Is that his name, Smoking Briar? It's too many people, I get them all confused. His name's Mike anyway. Everett Young, yes, get right on to cleaning those pipes. Yeah, Alex, you can stick with the weed if you want, but I'll stick with the tobacco because you can get so many varieties. Weed all tastes the same. Hello, Barry Becker. Law and Smoke, how are you doing tonight? PA Piper. Good evening, SRT. Glad to hear you're excellent, buddy. I try to catch your videos as much as I can. Um, it's like I have no time anymore. But I do the best I can. Ryan S., how are you? Georgia, Backwoods Pipe. Greetings from Uruguay. Haven Hill Piper. Max Wolf, how are you? I was just talking about you at the beginning. How you did a video about the flavor wheel. And I finally got around to doing it. And Max did a much better job about explaining what it's all about. But if you watch either his video or Andrew's video, you'll understand what he's doing. Yep, using whiskey to clean your pipes is good. Say, Max, I mentioned to somebody else somewhere, you remind me of Jack Benny, I think, because you get your hand up in there and you're talking like this, and every once in a while you say something. Love watching you, buddy. Craig Stephen, how are you? I don't know if anybody caught Sergeant Savinelli this morning, but right after I got up, he sent me a picture of a bobcat that went through his yard today. That was so cool. And then he did a little video, which I believe was his thought for the day today. That can't be right. Have we been on 13 minutes already? My goodness. Greetings from Scotland. Hootman, Hootman. Actually, no, Sarge didn't send the bobcat my way. We have plenty of bobcats here in Farmington, but I've never actually seen one. There are videos on YouTube. If you put Bobcat Family Farmington, Connecticut, there's some baby bobcats running around. Let's see, what else do I have in the way of pipe news? Do I have any pipe news? Cheers from Southern California. Smoking my last Frog Morton on the town. Oh my goodness, I am gonna miss those. The original Frog Mortons. Very good. I, have been telling people I didn't buy that much of McClellan stuff. I hate to see the option go away, but I did always enjoy the Frog Mortons as well as the 5100 Red Cake. Ben, how are you, Artful Codger? I hope you caught Eric Blue Collar Pipe Smoker He did a great impression of you. He had me fooled. Across the pond, that was a good one too. Pound of Haunted Bookshop just arrived. Enjoyed jarring it up. Yeah, I just got my 2 pounds. Was it last? Yeah, it was last Friday. And his old mucker, how you doing? I was watching him, or watching his live stream, listening to his live stream a little while ago, 2 hours ago. Yeah, as I said the other night, I can't wait to get outside. First nice Friday, going out in the woods. Might go to my favorite spot with the old fireplace there, and I will make a video about something near and dear to my heart. Oh, they're all going by fast now. All right, so I guess I'm still connected. It's my internet. That's what the problem is. It did reconnect and I'm back on. So I got a crummy internet. I don't know what to tell you. um, what else was I going to say tonight? Something. Yes, my wife is better. We took her to the doctor today. And as he had said before, I think we're looking at 3 to 4 weeks before she's back to the way she was, which isn't great, but it's better than how she is now. And I think I mentioned how busy I've been at work. I've got this coming week and maybe a week or two, and then it's going to get mental again. So I'm going to catch some rest while I can catch it. Should we do some shout-outs? We want to say hello to the Pipe Nook, Eddie Gray. We'll say hello to Doug Owen out at Cargo Hold. Tom, Northwest Pipe Smoker. Yes, Ethan over in, is he in Hungary? Where is he? He's somewhere over there and was in an accident. Quite a few people are raising some funds for his hospital bills. We certainly hope he recovers. I believe I read on Facebook that he's going to be out of ICU very shortly. So shout out to Ethan Levitt. And hospital in Germany. Where was I? I think we're all done with that. Who else should we shout out? We should shout out Pipes and Kayaks. Pipes and Kayaks is always busy Friday night. Come to think of it, I don't know that I heard from him this week. Actually, I don't think I did. Hoping to get together with him again this year. I did get somebody ask me in a private message about meeting up with people. And Yeah, I don't get away that often, so if I'm gonna meet up with somebody, it pretty much has to be close by. And Grateful Piper, I've met up with him. That was terrific. Sarge, of course, Pipes and Kayaks. Another guy from California who more or less is a lurker. And of course, Eastern, well, he's not Eastern Gray anymore. He's Classic Fly Tire. That's why I get all these people mixed up, you know. I know their real names, and then I try to remember their screen names, and it's just a big mess. Howdy from Vermont. Vermont probably got snow too. Yeah, so we lost a lot of trees in that nor'easter. It was too bad. I'm gonna have some serious yard work as soon as this stuff melts. Why does YouTube remember? They're going by too fast. What do we have? Wow, 127 watching. No wonder I can't read the comments. Mustache, 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 mustache. I have pizza in it. LOL, John. Oh, I'm being spammed. Well, that's not bad. Pipe with weed. That looks like French to me. Batten down the hatches. Uh-oh, there's another foreign language. I think somebody just called me an idiot. Canada, how's everything in Canada? Howard Beach in New York. The Eltopian. Hey, that reminds me, speaking of Eltopian, we go back quite a way. David, Burlyman 40, did a video last night. He was one of the originals. When I started YouTube, he and I started about the same time, and I think so did Eltopian. And if you want to see who was around back then, 2011? Yeah, 2011. I think if you do a search on YouTube for pipe smoking community, I think you'll find that video. It shows all the presenters back in 2011. It's a little picture of each person with where they come from. It's really cool. But Burlyman 40, Eltopian, Astroman 2012, I think was his name. There was a bunch of guys that were on. Some of them still around, some of them have gone on to other things, I guess. Some of them I see on Facebook. Those were great times up. YouTube was much smaller, or the community was much smaller, and I think you could probably check your subscriptions 2 or 3 days before you saw, you know, one of your buddies putting up a video. Now, you know, I check it like a couple of times a night because you never know who's putting stuff up. Lots of changes since 2011. In fact, this is the 9th. On Sunday is my 7-year anniversary on YouTube. Where's the cake? Where's the cake? So I obviously am not going to get to do a video on my anniversary. But had I been able to, there would have been one message, and it's the one that I told myself that April Fool's Day when I really did my first video. I never wanted to forget how scared I was, how insecure I was, and I promised myself I'd never make fun of anybody doing their first video because I knew exactly what they were going through. Oh, that was awful. But once you get through that first one, the rest of it's pretty easy. Element of Darkness says that's why he doesn't do it. No, really. It's, I've said it before, it's the best decision I ever made in my whole life, and I fretted over it for months. Because everyone said, you know, once you put it up there, you can delete it, but it's still up there. Or people have seen it. And, yeah, that kind of makes you think about it. But then there's also the whole, there are a whole bunch of issues that you have to think about, what you're going to avoid talking about, because there are certain things that can get you in a lot of trouble, as some people have found out. How you're going to handle trolls, what's your policy going to be on people who leave you nasty comments, all stuff like that. And of course, a lot of people get on here and they get popular and they start getting all these emails and they say, whoa, you know, I didn't know it was going to be this big a deal. That's why you don't see them anymore, because they get overwhelmed. And I think I was into my third year when it started getting to that point where I was getting real busy with it. And I thought to myself, what did I get myself into? But you learn how to manage that stuff, how to manage watching other videos as well as keeping up with emails and comments and stuff like that. And it really keeps me sane, so that's why I keep doing it. And let's see, what else? Do I have anything else? Yes, Max, YTPC is very friendly. Public Piper quit? No, I think Public Piper comes and goes as he feels. He's probably smarter than the rest of us. He only comes on when he feels like getting on. He's an amazing guy. He's one guy I'd like to meet everybody on YouTube, but he's one that I'd really love to sit down with and have a good pipe conversation with. I had something else in mind and I lost it. Oh my God. But anyway, we're coming up on 30 minutes, and I suppose if I'm going to get some sleep tonight, because I'll have to do a little editing for this. Clark's Favorite Pipe is terrific. I highly recommend it, as well as this baby here. Yeah, I'm liking the Church Wardens more and more at night. They're very, they're almost like a security blanket to me, and they're very comfortable. You know what? I went through this last week on Facebook with somebody. It looks like this says 601, but I think when I cross-referenced it, it's not the same pipe. Look on smokingpipes.com, and you'll see this pipe on there, I'm pretty sure. Because the number didn't get stamped properly, and the third letter's missing, it looks like, or the third number's missing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm too tired. Bing's favorite, yes, Bing's favorite is a great pipe. I'm so tired I can't shut this off. Oh, thank you, Pipes and Spirits. I hope I have more years on YouTube too. 601. Nicholas has the brown version. Okay, thank you very much for clearing that up. Um, Bing or Clark's? Oh my God. For, well, this is my own opinion. For a nighttime smoke, this is, you can't beat this. It's fantastic. Um, Before I had this, I would have said the same thing about Bing's, and I still kind of do say the same thing about Bing's, but I've gotten spoiled with this. And I've mentioned before, the only reason I don't take Bing's to work is because they just won't ride in my pocket right. Of course, these won't either. But Bing's favorite, I've told the story before. I bought the smooth one, I think it was, at a local B&M, and smoked it on the way home. And like the next day, I drove back and got the rusticated one. Great pipes. Clarksville. Norwegian fella. Pipe writer. All right. We're going to call it quits because I've had enough. As always, thanks to you guys for and gals for tuning in. Hopefully, very soon we're going to be outside. If not, we'll do it again next Friday night. I think we'll do it next Friday night. 7:30, 8 o'clock. It depends what kind of mood I'm in. Nicholas Cox, night night. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care.